with a unified parental front. Disciplining your child is never easy. You probably know from experience and mistakes how important it is to be consistent, to be firm, and to always follow through with designated disciplinary consequences. But when there are two parents involved, it is crucial that they are both on the same page, and it's important that they apply discipline consistently regardless of marital status. Our parents should agree on how to discipline their children. Not that mom is going this way and dad is going this way. To become reliable to children, to earn the respect of children, both parents must be consistent in dealing with similar situations. In a situation where the parents are separated or divorced, disagreeing with each other over upbringing can create a confusing situation for the child, because for separated parents, for instance, the child is with mommy on this weekend and some things are acceptable, and then the next weekend the child goes to daddy and some things become not acceptable. That creates a confusion for the child. So parents need to present a unified front when it comes to disciplining their children. You should make a concerted effort to keep your child's best interest at heart. You have to sit down with your child and line out the rules and expectations and the consequences for violating these rules. Now, both parents, I always say, when you want to make rules in your home, you don't just bring up rules from the blues. Sit down with your child or your children. Now, make these rules. Okay, in this home, this is what is not tolerated. We don't do this. We don't jump on the chairs. We don't use hateful words. We don't hit our siblings. We don't say bad words in this home. And then, after making the rules with the children, they are aware of what you're doing. You now fix the consequences with them. What do I mean by this? You're saying, okay, in this home, we don't use hateful words, hateful comments. If you use hateful comments, this and this is what will happen. If you use hateful comments, you are not going to be given this or that. You understand? So right there and then, the children are aware of the rule. They are aware of the consequence they should get when that rule is broken. So that is an effort that should be made by both parents. Both parents should agree that the intended discipline is fair enough, and the parents should apply this discipline consistently in a firm but fair manner in the home. And then when it comes to disagreements as regards discipline or other parenting issues, this should be resolved when the child is not present. For instance, mommy and daddy have tried to work it out to be on the same page, but they are still having arguments as to what should and should not be done. When you want to resolve these arguments, make sure your child is not present. If the child senses discord, they may attempt to manipulate the situation to their advantage. If your child senses that there's no smoothness, in this area, they will now want to take an advantage of that to manipulate the situation. Now, what am I saying in essence? When you are teaching good behavior, when you are trying to discipline your child, mommy and daddy should be on the same page. Mommy shouldn't say jumping on the chairs is not tolerated in this home, and then daddy shouldn't say, oh fine, you can jump on the chairs. You see what I'm saying? It's not going to work that way. So in essence, parents should practice what they preach in a unified manner. If mommy is saying this, daddy should be saying the same thing. They should have one language. Children learn values and beliefs more by examples the adults around them set. Your children will model you. Your children will mirror you. That is why parenting is about you. That is why sometimes you look at your child and you be like, where is this coming from? If you look inward, you discover that it is what you do, or it is what you have done in the past. When you are screaming at a child to be quiet, or you are hitting a child, or you are just scolding the child, be careful, because you are screaming at the child that, hey, stop it, do that. I tell you, in the next 2 weeks, when that child wants to scold his little sibling, he's going to scream the same way you've been screaming at him. He's going to express himself the same way you express yourself towards him. So we need to really be careful when it comes to acting out in front of our children. Decide what is important and what parenting response you should use to teach your child. It will be more effective to calmly tell your child to be quiet when the child is physically aggressive, instead of probably the child hits the sibling or something and the sibling is crying. You just go there, hey, why did you hit the child? Why did you hit your sister? Why did you hit your sister? I tell you, the child is going to pick up that response and will do the same to someone else. And you'll be wondering, why are you screaming at her? He learned it from you. So when your child is hitting his sibling, all you have to do is just calmly talk to him, calmly caution him, or use the consequences that you have laid out when you were setting the rules together with that child. And then remember that what works now may not work later down the road. Situations may dictate a different approach, and time and maturity may demand that a child's rule be modified, or changed completely. Sometimes your common sense will help you to decide when bedtime rules should be modified or when table manners should be relaxed. Some rules will be the same, while other rules will have to be modified and new ones might also be introduced. But regardless of the situation, parents should always present a unified front and work together, not against each other, in providing effective discipline for their child.